Hi there, welcome to today's video. Have you ever been charmed with someone? You know those times when you fall deeply in love and find yourself thinking about someone constantly? Although it might be thrilling, having a crush can present certain difficulties. Buddhism discusses feelings such as connection, love, and desire. They claim that if we're not careful, these emotions could lead to pain for us. Think of holding on to something too firmly, like an air-filled balloon. We may experience sadness or disappointment if it bursts. Buddhists hold that suffering can result from becoming overly connected to something. What precisely is a crush then? To put it another way, consider this. Having a crush on someone indicates that you have a deep affection for them. When you see them, you could get butterflies in your stomach and want to hang out with them all the time. Crushes happen when someone is drawn to the appearance, the personality, or both of them. Many people have had this natural feeling. At some point in their life, you may find yourself doing specific things without even recognizing it when you're in a crush. For instance, you might find yourself thinking about them or experiencing anxiety in their presence. You might also try being very kind or humorous in an attempt to win them over. At times, you might even experience mild envy if you witness them engaging in conversation with someone else. All of these are typical actions that may accompany a crush. Buddhism has a unique way of teaching about feelings, attachment, and desire. Emotions, such as happiness and sadness, are said to be normal aspects of existence. However, they also discuss desire and attachment. Attachment is the state in which we cling excessively to objects or persons, as in the constant need for things to remain unchanged. Wanting something we don't have, like a new toy or the approval of another person, is called want. Buddhists hold that attachment and desire, which induce us to want things excessively, can bring suffering. Buddhists talk a lot about mindfulness and self-awareness as tools for managing our emotions. Being mindful is being aware of the present moment without passing judgment on it as good or bad. It's similar to being conscious of our emotions and ideas without becoming overly engrossed in them. Being self-aware entails having a thorough understanding of oneself, including what brings us joy or sorrow. Through practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, we can begin to better understand our emotions and develop healthier coping mechanisms. People who are in a crush occasionally make frequent mistakes without even realizing it. One error is becoming overly fixated on the person they find attractive. This entails constantly considering them and adjusting schedules only to spend time with them. Overly stressing oneself to impress their crush is another mistake. To get their crush to like them again, they could attempt acting differently or pretending to enjoy things they don't truly like. These errors increase our need on other people for enjoyment, which might result in pain and discontent. We're not being genuine to ourselves when we become fixated on someone or make excessive attempts to win them over. We may experience anxiety or tension as a result of our constant concern about our crush's opinion of us. Furthermore, we may experience extreme disappointment or sadness if things don't turn out as we had hoped. Therefore, because we're not taking care of ourselves and our own feelings, these blunders can make us feel miserable. Buddhism provides us with some useful methods for more healthful emotional and desire regulation. One method is meditation, which is similar to mental exercise. During meditation, we sit in silence and concentrate on our breathing or a peaceful picture. This aids in raising our level of awareness of our emotions and thoughts without allowing them to consume us. Being attentive or focusing on the present moment without passing judgment is another method. Whether we're eating, strolling, or conversing with someone, it's like being totally in the present. The last quality is detachment, which is defined as not being overly attached to objects or people. It's about learning to accept things as they are and letting go of our strong desires. It can be simpler to handle challenging emotions when we practice meditation, since it helps clear our minds and lower stress. Instead of constantly seeking more, mindfulness can teach us to enjoy the here and now and find joy in the small things in life. Furthermore, even when things don't go our way, detachment can help us let go of our attachments and achieve inner peace. We may develop healthier, more balanced ways of controlling our emotions and wants by putting these strategies into practice. There are some useful advice derived from Buddhist concepts that can assist us in handling such situations more consciously. First off, try not to get too attached to your crush. Consider other enjoyable activities in your life, such as hobbies or hanging out with friends, rather than dwelling on them all the time. Second, become more self-aware by observing your feelings without passing judgment. Take a minute to recognize your feelings of anxiety and upset over your crush and try to understand their origins. Finally, tell yourself that it doesn't matter if your crush likes you back for you to be happy. Regardless of how things work out with your crush, work on being happy and fulfilled within yourself. Even outside of romantic relationships, there are plenty of opportunities to practice mindfulness and detachment in daily life. For instance, when you're eating, try to concentrate on the tastes and sensations of the food instead of speeding through it or focusing on something else. This is an easy approach to be totally present in the moment and engage in mindfulness exercises. Furthermore, attempt to approach a difficult circumstance with detachment by releasing any emotional ties to a specific result. Instead, try not to let your personal interests get in the way of finding a solution that works best for everyone. You can increase your resilience and sense of inner serenity by adopting these routines into your daily life. Let me to give you a real-world example of how using Buddhist strategies to deal with crush situations can work. Assume that Jamie, a classmate, is the object of a crush for someone named Alex. Initially, Alex notices that they can't stop thinking about Jamie and that they get anxious around him. But if Alex feels that their emotions are overwhelming them, they begin to practice mindfulness by paying attention to their breath. They also begin daily meditation to help them de-stress and become more lucid. Alex starts to notice a change in how they approach their infatuation on Jamie as they continue to practice detachment and mindfulness. Rather than being fixated on every exchange with Jamie or becoming angry when he doesn't feel the same way, Alex discovers contentment inside themselves and gains an appreciation for their own value. They understand that whether Jamie likes them back or not has no bearing on their pleasure. Through practicing detachment and mindfulness, Alex is more equipped to handle their crush on Jamie. They are able to enjoy their conversations with Jamie without becoming overly focused on the result. Regardless of Jamie's response to their emotions, Alex stays grounded and happy with who they are. This illustration demonstrates how Buddhist practices can enable people to more easily and self-awarely control their feelings and wants in romantic settings, we discussed crushes and the difficulties they can provide in this video. The Buddhist view of emotions, attachment, and desire has been discussed, with a focus on the role that mindfulness and self-awareness play in controlling them. The common errors people make when interacting with their crushes were emphasized, as well as the ways in which these errors can cause pain and unhappiness. Additionally, we've covered specific Buddhist practices like detachment, mindfulness, and meditation, and offered helpful advice on how to apply these ideas in crushing circumstances. We invite you to consider your own crush experiences through the lens of Buddhism. Recall to cultivate self-awareness by comprehending your emotions without passing judgment, and mindfulness by giving your whole attention to the present moment. Let go of deep attachments and discover happiness within yourself to cultivate detachment. Regardless of the result, you can handle crushes more skillfully and achieve greater peace and contentment by doing this. We would be interested in knowing your opinions on using Buddhist precepts in crushing circumstances. When handling a crush, have you tried mindfulness or meditation techniques? What has proven effective for you? Please feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the section below. Let's have this discussion some more and help one another on our path to emotional health and self-awareness.